Hi, I'm Brooke Dunn. I'm the Communications and Marketing Coordinator for the town of Breckenridge. Last night we had a town council meeting and I am joined by Carol Sade to talk about it. How are you today?
Doing great, Brooke. How are you?
I'm great. I'm excited to talk about what happened last night.
Yeah, always so much going on.
Always, always. So let's just jump right in and let's talk about our FERC update. They came and talked to us a little bit. What can you tell us about that?
Yeah, so it's always wonderful to hear from FERC. FERC is the Family and Intercultural Resource Center. I mean, really such a essential organization in our community. They provide wraparound services for community members to be able to survive here. You know, it's tough. Like there's limited housing, childcare, the cost of living is so much more expensive than other areas. And so many of our community members are from the immigrant community, and they face those additional barriers and challenges that make life tough here to succeed. So they provide help with everything from parental resilience to financial empowerment. And hearing their update, it's inspiring in one way, but it's also sobering because it illustrates that high need in our community. They told us that in 2024, they served over 8,000 community members. I mean, Summit County is only a community of 30,000. That's a large percentage of our community. So they're just so essential to our community. It's always the big three they mentioned: housing, childcare, food. So they gave us a bit of an update on their visits to the food market. They had over 27,000 visits last year, and gosh, I think pre-COVID they had around 5,000 visits a year. So they're working with such an increased need to the food market, and also we're all feeling this at the grocery store, how much more expensive groceries are. So they're dealing with that. Inflation too, but again, an incredible organization. For every dollar of food or a dollar they have, they can turn that into $6 of food. So they really leverage those dollars in such a great way to support the community. So they gave us an update on that. In 2025, they expect to provide $7 million of food to the community. So again, just such a incredible, essential organization. So anyone, either with a little extra to give, should donate, or if they have extra time to volunteer. FERC had 5,000 volunteer hours last year, so they're always looking for the support of the community in any way that you can.
Yeah, it's really great. I didn't even know that they did all the things that they did, so it was really great to see their kind of update and a little bit of overview of everything that they have going on.
Yeah.
It's great. So I can't wait to see what they do for 2025 and what our community can do for them by helping out with donations or volunteer hours.
Yeah, it's a challenging time, and we all come together in Summit County, so
exactly.
It's inspiring. We do what we can.
Yes. Moving right along, let's talk about events. We had a little bit of an update. What can you tell us about that?
Yeah, so few updates. We have the Breckenridge Events Committee, and they're a mix of community members, event producers, and they're tasked with both vetting events and reviewing events. So we got an update last night that they looked at the snow sculptures event. I mean, such a popular event, both with community members. It draws so many people in, and it is a well-oiled machine after I can't remember how many years, but many decades of hosting the snow sculptures. So we had some community members reach out asking us to extend that event, and we really took that into consideration. The Breckenridge Events Committee really vetted that and decided, this year was cold, and the snow sculptures, gosh, they're always incredible, but stayed in good shape for a long time, but that doesn't always happen. So they decided to keep that same timeline just to make sure the snow sculptures are in that pristine condition and not melting into mashed potatoes. Also considerations for parking and staff time and capacity. So they really looked at that and came to the decision to keep a similar event next year as we had. We also, at council, chatted a little bit about the upcoming 4th of July. 4th of July is always so fun. We have all the Breck race events, the parade, and we have been hearing a little bit of feedback asking for some more animation in the afternoon and evening, both for residents to enjoy and to keep people in town. So it's been a couple months of vetting various potential events. Of course, we looked at that really cool Spark event, which will line up with BIFA, but still really wanted something for the 4th of July. So Town Council went ahead and gave the approval for the events committee and Breck Create and town staff to look at this kind of bike-themed circus performance. So we're still vetting the exact location, maybe a Main Street closure. We're going to talk to the community about that, or another location, also the timing. So that'll be really cool, and we're still vetting that.
Awesome. Yeah, I love the 4th of July, and I feel like anything that you guys can do to make it better, and Breck Create's doing a really great job trying to vet that, and also our events committee. So I think it'll be really good whatever is decided to be done.
Yeah, I think so too. I'm thrilled to see how it pans out.
Yeah, so I guess we'll wait until those conversations start to come along a little bit more as 4th of July comes up. Lastly, I just kind of wanted to talk about some ongoing conversations with our neighborhood preservation policy and our small business assistance. What can you tell us about that?
Yeah, so those are kind of two bigger items that we've been talking about for a while. First is a neighborhood preservation policy. This is something that has come about several times throughout the last 2 decades, where we'll hear from community members about kind of the new houses coming in, or the scrape and builds that maybe don't match the character. Town works so hard to preserve our historical downtown character, to preserve the feel of neighborhoods. And one of our tools is our planning code, our building code, some of our other policies. So we're looking at a potential policy that would increase setbacks, meaning how close the home is built to the road or to their neighbors, other maximum height policies. So we're really in the early stages of that. So yesterday we talked about how we'll really do a big push to hear from community members, architects, builders. Brooke, I know you played a role in putting together this communications plan, so lots of outreach to come on that. The other policy that we had been talking about is our small business assistance program of some sort. Again, the character of town, of Main Street, I mean, it's these small businesses that add so much, that town is proud to be home to these like small entrepreneurs. So we've been looking at making sure that we don't have too many barriers for these small businesses to succeed in Breckenridge. Again, town staff did an incredible job really coming up with a plan for outreach. We want to hear what the business community thinks would be helpful and supportive. Also, we're planning to put together a resource page, so existing businesses, potential new businesses, they have access to what's out there, what are the regulations, just a one-stop shop to support them.
That's great. And I know it's an ongoing conversation, but I do think the conversation that we had last night was really good, and I think a step in the right direction.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for that. That was a really great update for that section of the meeting. I really didn't have anything else I wanted to talk about, but I wanted to see if there was anything else you wanted to talk about.
Yeah, there's always, again, so much going on, but couple things to note. So Red, White, and Blue came and presented yesterday. Again, a local organization. They provide fire, ambulance services. They're duly accredited, which is incredibly unique and something our community should be proud of. Again, they're working with the inflation in this community. I think they said a new fire truck went from being around 850,000 to 1.4 million. So as an organization, I mean, to provide those life-saving and other services, we want to make sure they're intact. So they let us know that they might be going to the ballot to ask voters for a generational ask to really have more support so they can fully support our community as they have been. Always great to hear for them, a credible team at Red, White, and Blue. Otherwise, we have a couple events coming up. First, Town Cleanup Day, not in a little bit, in a couple months. We need the snow to melt. So that'll be May 31st. So put that on your calendars. That's always a great community day. And the second day, we had a couple public meetings coming up. Brooke, can you remind me of those dates?
Yes. We have the drop-in events happening at the Breckenridge Recreation Center for our Dark Sky initiative. It's our exterior lighting policy. They'll be able to come in, check out some of the retrofitted lights actually that other people are kind of working on, and just talk about it, schedule an assessment, all that kind of stuff. And that'll be March 17th at the Breck Rec.
Yeah, that's great. Lots coming up.
Yeah.
The only other thing I'll mention that we always love to hear from the community. So if you have anything you'd like to share with council, please email us at council@townofbreckenridge.com.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for your time today and yesterday, and thank you guys for watching.
Thanks all. Bye.